Boas tardes. É com muito gosto que recebo hoje em Lisboa a alta representante da União Europeia para os Negócios Estrangeiros e Política de Segurança e que é simultaneamente vice-presidente da Comissão Europeia, Federica Mogherini. Esta foi mais uma oportunidade para debatermos assuntos da agenda internacional que nos preocupam a todos, os membros da União Europeia, e em relação aos quais temos estado especialmente atentos. É o caso do agravamento da situação política e de segurança em alguns países do Magrebe e no Médio Oriente. Recordo que no final de 2014 escrevi à Sra. Mogherini solicitando-lhe um empenho reforçado da União Europeia para com os países do sul do Mediterrâneo, apelo que sei que não caiu em saco roto. O Conselho de Negócios Estrangeiros da União Europeia de janeiro último já tinha dado um primeiro passo neste sentido quando decidiu estreitar a cooperação com os países da nossa vizinhança sul, ao nível dos serviços de informação e de segurança e ao nível da discussão do problema do terrorismo. Particular atenção neste almoço foi dada à presença do autoproclamado EEAS na Líbia. Preocupa-nos em especial a proximidade desta organização terrorista em relação à Europa e ainda a possibilidade do ISIS poder estender-se à África subsaariana através do Sahel. Os assassinatos chocantes levados a cabo por terroristas reforçam a nossa determinação em erradicar o autoproclamado ISIS. Esta organização criminosa é uma ameaça para a humanidade, põe em causa o mais fundamental de todos os direitos, que é o direito à vida e aos valores da liberdade, da tolerância e da democracia. Tive a oportunidade de reiterar à Sra. Mogherini o apoio de Portugal à coligação internacional e também de manifestar o desprezo do nosso país por todas as formas de violência, ódio e terrorismo. Desprezo e condenação. Foi ainda na sequência da grave situação que se vive no Norte da África que debatemos a frágil situação de segurança que se vive no Golfo da Guiné. Esta situação poderá afetar os países da África Ocidental. Por esta razão, dei conta à Sra. Mogherini dos esforços que Portugal desenvolve com os países de língua portuguesa naquela região, no que respeita à capacitação de meios de vigilância marítima. No que respeita em particular à Guiné-Bissau, pude salientar que a União Europeia pode desempenhar um papel-chave no progresso daquele país e no apoio aos esforços que têm vindo a ser feitos pelo governo guineense para a estabilidade política, social e económica. Aliás, para Portugal é muito importante que a União Europeia reforce o seu diálogo com os países da CPLP e com a própria organização. De resto, temos condições para fazer a ponte entre a Europa e os continentes africano e o latino-americano, papel que Portugal desempenha tradicionalmente e continuará a esforçar-se por desempenhar. No que respeita à situação política e de segurança na Ucrânia, é urgente encontrar uma solução politicamente duradoura para o país. Em todo o caso, Minsk dá-nos alguma tênue esperança. Portugal defende que a Ucrânia deverá proceder às suas reformas internas através de um diálogo nacional inclusivo e que esta seja uma garantia para a estabilidade política, social e económica. É essencial nesta matéria que a União Europeia se mantenha unida e que não perca de vista o diálogo com a Rússia, que é crucial para a resolução desta e de outras questões relevantes para a política internacional. Neste contexto, pude também debater a importante questão da diversificação do fenómeno energético à Europa. A presente crise a leste sublinha essa necessidade. Tivemos, por isso, a oportunidade de debater o mercado comum de energia e a importância que é para o nosso país, que é para a segurança energética de todo o espaço europeu, é o problema que costuma ser designado pela questão das interconexões. Agora a Sra. Mogherini vai fazer a sua intervenção e depois haverá lugar, peço desculpa, mas dada a falta de tempo, para 3 questões só. Please.
Obrigada. And that, I'm afraid, is the only Portuguese I can say. I thank you very much for the welcoming here. This is my first official visit to Portugal in the context of visits that I'm paying to all the 28 member states. Portugal is one of the first ones I visit, and one of the very first ones actually to the south of Europe. The purpose of this is to work together on the priorities and the urgencies, but also the urgencies that are not necessarily on the headlines of the newspapers and the media, together. to face them together, because we know that our strength is in our unity, and there is no challenge in the world and in our neighborhood that can be tackled by one member state alone. Working on a truly common foreign policy, a truly common security policy is going to be the only way to have some hopes of solving the crisis we have all around us. I was very pleased today meeting my friend, Rui, and the Minister, as well as I was very pleased to meet the Minister of Defense, the Prime Minister and the President, and I'm also having some meetings with the think tanks of the international community here in Lisbon, for what I understand is the first visit in the country, official visit in the country of a High Representative, and I can promise it's not going to be the last one. We have discussed and shared ideas and also proposals on how to move forward on a certain number of issues, starting for once with our southern neighborhood. We discussed at length the situation in Libya that is getting day by day more worrying, and I can say that I discussed this yesterday night in Madrid with Bernardino Leon, the UN Special Envoy for Libya, to which I am assuring in these hours all the European Union support to make sure that the international and the regional conditions to take all the Libyan parts together to face the threat of Daesh in their country and in the region is going to be there. I'm flying to Washington the day after tomorrow, where I will have meetings with other Arab leaders and obviously with the Secretary of State, John Kerry, on this. And this is one of the fields where the European Union knows has to play an active and critical role to make sure that Libya does not collapse as itself, and that from that territory there is not further spread of instability, insecurity and terrorism. The option now is in the hands of the Libyans themselves and of many regional actors that we are working with together in these hours to try and make sure that the efforts, the UN-led efforts of dialogue, finally gets to some results that could allow then the European community, including the European Union, to support the process in the country. We discussed not only on Libya, when it comes to the Mediterranean, we discussed the Middle East peace process, situation in Tunisia and Morocco and many other countries of our sea, of our common area, as well as the Minister said very well, what is south to our southern neighborhood, Africa. An issue that is often out of the political agenda, an issue that I am personally very much committed to bring back to our European political agenda. We will have a full discussion and a full strategic reflection with the foreign ministers of the 28 on Africa in March. And I count on the Portuguese experience, wisdom and knowledge to help the European Union to develop more and more our policy in Africa, starting from the Portuguese-speaking countries, obviously. Ukraine was the other hot topic on the agenda. The developments in these very same hours are not encouraging. I've had contacts with Germany in these last hours following the conference call yesterday night between the Chancellor Putin and Poroshenko. We insist on the fact that the agreement that was reached last week in Minsk for the implementation of the agreement that was signed has to be full and has to take place in these days. We would not leave that option, we would not make that option fall. We need, and first of all Ukraine needs, that agreement to be implemented at full. And I think that the Russians know very well, the separatists know very well, that it's not only Europe but it's all the international community looking for the implementation of these agreements that are crucial for the future of the country and of the region and of the civil population that is living there and that I think is experiencing, after almost 1 year of conflict, a very dramatic situation on the ground. We shortly discussed also another area where Portugal has a particular interest and knowledge to be shared at the level of the European Union, which is our relations with Latin America. I am personally very much committed to bring the European Union-Latin America relations to a different stage, deeper and broader partnership with Latin America and the Caribbean. And on this we agreed to strengthen the input that Portugal can give to the European Union foreign and security policy. Last but not least, our work on counterterrorism. As the Minister, I think, mentioned, but my Portuguese understanding is a little bit improving. We have discussed ways of strengthening our cooperation with key countries in the Arab world, in Africa, in the Gulf, in the Middle East, increasing the intelligence and information sharing, working on security attachés in the European Union delegations in the area, and also on this, I know I can count on Portugal for making of our common choices when it comes to European Union policies, choices that get real and practical when it comes to the implementation of it. I always say, and we also discussed about that, there is no distance, there is no contradiction between the capital cities of the 28 member states and Brussels. The European Union is its member states, and I think that all the member states have an added value in Brussels. And I know that seen from Lisbon, this is particularly not only understood but also felt. And I have to thank you very much, personally also, for the support and for the contribution that Portugal always gives to our common European foreign and security policy.
Perguntas? 3. Por favor.
My name is Henry Kalmeda for Bloomberg News. Fighting in Debaltseve is continuing, and as you said, the last developments in the Ukraine were not encouraging. So my question is the ceasefire agreement a failure?
Until there is an agreement signed to which the parts still refer to as something that needs to be implemented, I would not say that there is a failure. But I said in the beginning there are negative news. And we have said from the very beginning of this process last week, when we reached the agreement, that the real thing was obviously the signature itself, but also and mainly the implementation of the decisions taken in Minsk. We knew from the beginning that it was going to be difficult, fragile, probably not black and white, but rather grey, with different shades of white and black. And what we have to do today is not declaring the failure of a process, but working and insisting for the process to get to a positive outcome, which is, I repeat, the full implementation of what was signed a few days ago by the separatists and agreed by Moscow as well in Minsk.
Outra questão?
We didn't discuss that with the Foreign Minister. I would not comment on this, if not to say that as in diplomacy, also inside the European Union, we have to make good use of our time in front of us.
Uma última pergunta?
should reinforce the border south, and what should be the main actions from the southern countries as Portugal, Italy, and also do you think military action or something like that could come in the near future?
You know, the southern borders of Europe is a sea, and to strengthen the borders at sea has proven to be quite complex, if not very complicated. The real solution to the threats and the challenges we are facing from the south of Europe, from the southern borders, is rather than managing the borders, the sea, solving the root causes, solving the crisis situations that we have, starting from Libya. Libya is today, and has been for a certain number of months, the main problem when it comes to managing our southern neighborhood. We have not always had the perception, the political perception, the political awareness of this priority in the past. I think, and I hope, this now has changed, not only in the countries in the south, but also in all of Europe. The only possible way of managing the security challenges we have at our southern borders is to work together with the United Nations when it comes to Libya, to have the process that Bernardino Leon is trying to develop, bringing the different parts of Libya around an effort of unity that could give a start to some sort of authority that could manage this situation. I said yesterday, and I would repeat today, the threat of Daesh is a threat for sure to Europe, for sure to the region, to many countries of the Maghreb. It's first of all also a threat to the Libyan people. And it has to be the Libyan people, all of them, to be able to react to that, unite, and they could count, they will count on the international community, including the European Union, to support their efforts to face Daesh in their country.
Muito obrigado a todos.